I will just call a few of the invited discussants, but I will request them to be brief so that we can have really a dialogue with our journalist friends, because that is the main issue. So let us first briefly hear from our invited guests. May I request Professor Mubarak Ali Khan to speak. He used to be the director of our Science Museum and also chairman of the Board of Education.
Professor Dr. Shamsul Ali, he is a nice speaker. He can explain the things in a very nice way. What I think in this matter, in our country, what I think, there is very little connection between the general people and the journalist. And similarly, there is little connection between the scientist and the journalist. In other countries, especially in UK and other countries, I have seen that what happens in the country, there is a focus in the newspaper, in the journals. But we think we have very little focus in the newspaper, what is happening in the field of science. Standard of education in our country is very poor still now. What I can say about 50 years ago, when I was a student in the college, when we were practicing practical work in the laboratory, there was very shortage of chemicals and equipments and test tube, beakers, etc. We told at that time, suppose this is a test tube, and supposition was the main thing, and there is a drawing in the board, and they used to explain the thing in that way. But after 50 years, if you visit, I request the journalist, if you kindly visit the laboratories of the different schools and colleges of this country, you can see the condition of the laboratory is still similar. There is very little improvement. And in many cases, I see there is no improvement at all. So, what Professor Shamsul Ali was saying, there is no instrument. If instruments are not supplied, or one can say, should we purchase the instrument from the other countries? No. We can make the instrument in our country. We used to arrange science fair in Science Museum. What we have seen, the young children, they used to prepare the telescope, microscope, stethoscope, all these materials they can prepare. They can explain the greenhouse effect. From this, they generate their curiosity in the field of science. But that practice is no more being used now. The science fair is almost going to be vanished from the Science Museum. When I was a director of Science Museum, I used to invite Professor Shamsul almost every year, and we discussed the various problems and used to try to solve the problems. But unfortunately, there is no improvement at present, what I can see. So, what I now request our friend scientists and the friend journalists especially, that you should visit the laboratories of the different schools and colleges, and what is the condition, you please focus it in the newspaper. And that will give the right picture of the country. And that is why the condition, the standard of the education is going to be deteriorated day by day. Everybody knows that we are living in the age of science. Without improvement of science, in the field of science, we cannot prosper. So we should give more attention, we should give more focus on the science education. And that is my request to the journalists. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Professor Mubarak Ali Khan, for your brief but sharp remarks. May I next invite Dr. Engineer M.A. Qayyum, former chairman of Bangladesh Atomic Energy Commission.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Which Asaf Ali had said, we are actually a nation of buyers. I am still teaching in a university, so I say we are a nation of buyers. We just buy and use things. This shouldn't be. because as Mr. Mukhtar Munir has already mentioned about the science and technology. Well, I think in that way. Technology is the application of science. I think whether you accept it or not, that is how I think. I see the things that way. Actually, it is the application of science by which technology develops. Or in some other things, there are some technology develops first and science is coming later on. Well, but most of the cases, science is the fundamental thing, the knowledge, and then the things are coming, is developed, it is applied, and then technology develops. And I also mentioned about the contribution of the media people. I think you know very famous Chernobyl accident. During that period, there are some things I think you know very well. The food, the child food used to be permitted, and they are highly activated, radioactive material. And at that time, unfortunately, there was no law in the land, nuclear application, about nuclear application. And so what we did was, we tried to influence the government to subvert this. That is, there should be some control in importing the things, but it didn't work. So what we did was, there was deliberate leakage to the media so that public opinion was formed. And the public opinion was so strong that the government was compelled to issue an executive order that it must be checked, tested, then you can import. Well, this is a very beautiful, I think, commendable work done by the journalists, because the people knew and the public opinion was formed. That is a very good example, I should say. And then he has also mentioned there are problems of groundwater, and there is another one problem is arsenic, contamination of groundwater. I think it has not yet been possible to identify the reason yet, because I know starting from the 1986-97, it was being thought of. There are so many colloquia, seminars, internally, outside, but I still say that nobody has yet been able to find out the reason, because there the science comes in. Because only the technology, they are making the filters and so on. The filters are cropped in a very few days, and so you have to reject it and so on. Because I was involved in this problem also. That is why I am thinking it is still a good thing for the scientists to work on it and find out the actual reason of contamination of groundwater by arsenic. And it is spreading. It started from the West Bengal, and it has started towards the eastern side also. So I should say that, well, we don't have, there is no competition between science and technology. They should go together. And well, I always say that it is based on science. Some technology developed based on science. And we have mentioned that we are talking of IT technology, but there is a computer working, there is no electricity. Well, there is a big problem of electricity supply, and so far we have not yet found any solution. Only the blaming games and new beautiful things, new beautiful plans, but we don't have anything concrete in the place to get the supply of electricity. I think this is a very big problem so far. If you think about IT, without electricity, I don't think you can do it. So these are the things that we have to think of, and I think the other point, as pointed out by the main speaker, that is the number of students in science, while it is a very alarming situation, it is not a new one. It has been observed from a long time ago, and it is continuing. The number of students of science is going down and down. Well, why? Because, this has been touched upon by Professor Shamsher, that you don't have the equipment, so why the students will be interested to take the subject while you cannot work anything, you just read the books and see the examples that Professor Akans has said. He said, suppose that science is not a subject like this. You have to have the thing in front of you and you can use it in your hand and then you learn it. So this is the thing we are lacking, and we have to plan in a way so that we develop science and we develop technology together. And I would request the media people, our journalist people, to have a close contact with the scientists, technologists, and the technicians. As you have heard, that there are so many countries, those who have zero population area. Well, in Japan also, he has mentioned about Germany, but I know I have visited Japan. They have got the same problem. They don't have the people who are working level. Most of them are 70 or more. The age level is 70 and more, not in the mid-level. So there are so many other countries coming, and if you study, he has mentioned already about the nurses. Well, we don't have nurses, but how can we export nurses to other countries? We don't have sufficient nurses in our country itself. So this is the problem where we have to think about it in an integrated way, not just by ad hoc basis. You take this problem, no, solve it this way. You take this problem, no. We have to do in an integrated way, the whole, as a whole country overall. Then only we can go forward. Otherwise, we cannot, I repeat, we cannot survive in the future world at all. Thank you very much for the opportunity that you have given, and I also congratulate the organizers that the function was started in time. Thank you.